Hi, this is Kimberly. Well, shut the front door, Ain't B. The world has gone completely stark raving mad. And now I forget exactly why I feel this way, but it made me all enraged and stuff last night. And I was like, well, I'm going to remember that so I can tell my people. I have people now. I never had people before, but I got y'all now, and it's all awesome. And while editing this video, I realized if you're here strictly to hear me talk to about the 12-minute mark, because I got carried away just yammering on, so thank you. Much love and peace. And well, anyway, I thought I would remember, so I didn't write it down. And even if I write it down, I look at it and I'm like, what the fuck does this mean? So anyway, I hate when I can't reminisce about what I was all living about and shit. And I was all maligned and shit with my flippin' memory loss and nonsense drivel. I don't like it when my mind and body defy my commands. It didn't used to do this. Kinda was a gradual takeover of the last few years, and it's kind of like when I put myself in time out, that's just when I slam off to bed, but then I'll be up all damn night because I can't sleep, and then my body and mind will fall short of my wants and expectations, and then I say, I'm going to get up early tomorrow, and then I'll set my alarm and I keep hitting snooze until it just gives up on me. Because the only time my body wants to stay awake or asleep is when it's not supposed to or when I don't want it to. Or rather, when society says that I'm not supposed to either sleep or be awake. I'm fine with the up all night and sleep all day thing, but then my husband and I would never see one another, and he tells me that I should just listen to my body. And, that's all sweet and stuff, and that bad boy rascal son of a gun, I love when he teases me like that, all pretending not to want to spend every single waking moment and sleeping hour with me. Did you know that women are programmed to get up with babies in the middle of the night? And that's why many of us are night owls. And I remember Mr. Smartass of that every time he asked me in a sarcastic manner, did you get enough sleep? When I roll out of bed mid-afternoon sometimes. Like I said, women are programmed for that, and I really didn't need him to kick me all those nights, when the baby would be crying and stuff, and I was getting to it, damn it. One reason I chose to breastfeed all those years ago, they're all adults now, is because it was so convenient to just go pick the baby up, change the diaper, and bring him or her back to bed with me, and then I could go back to sleep after the feeding. And then my husband would awaken with hickeys all over his arms and shoulders, chest, and even a few on his back. I offered to pump a bottle full and tape it to him, and he refused. He never wanted to do fun shit like that. I vaguely remember, when I was ranting and raving about the world's gone mad last night to my husband. I don't know if he was listening, but he'll just let me go on, and he'll grab the remote and turn the TV up so that I don't bother him, or interrupt him watching news and stuff. So I do know that I'm just sick of this damn coronavirus and the same news, it seems, day after day. It's just, I feel like I'm in one of those movies where the world and life as we know it has been shattered, and then they always have a realistic news report in the movie, and it just depresses the shit out of me. I've never cared for those kind of movies. They're just downright depressing. And if there's no joy in life and it's all scary, and there's always that abandoned old-fashioned looking gas station with the rusty sign blowing in the wind, that always gives me the creeps. But I do know, well, before I was declaring that the world went mad, the day before, when I was trying to record the last video I put up before this one, Murphy's Law, of course, has an adage that is typically stated as anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Well, that's how Murphy's Law was applicable to my life. Not only a couple of days before, but pretty much my whole life. But you know what I mean. Some days are more so than others, and yesterday and the day before and all that shit, and I don't want to go all into it and shit because it was nothing that serious. It was just those one little annoyance here, another nuisance there, an aggravation, an irritation, then a hassle, exasperation, disturbance, headache, provocation, regret, hold up, unpleasantness, pain in the ass, one after another. And now, my husband doesn't mean to behave like that. In fact, he doesn't even know that he does. I'm kidding. Bless his big old teddy bear heart. But nah, it was me and my characteristic fumbling and dropping shit, knocking over my coffee, and there goes another $60 keyboard. They probably think I'm setting up a business in my garage or something, 'cause I just order one keyboard after another. But anyway, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. That video, that last one that I posted, I just did the first part of January 27th. Well, that shit was supposed to be a whole lot longer. I wanted to do the day of the 27th all in one big dramatic video. But after about 3 days of my goddamn clumsiness and just being a goddamn failure at everything, and I kind of said fuck it. And did the video seem like it just cut off abruptly? Well, that's 'cause it did. And I said, to hell with it, that's a wrap. And the little voice inside my head said, no, no way. Action, action. And I had the whole you're not the boss of me conversation. And my husband was like, are you on the phone? I said, no, God damn it. And then I was like, bloody hell, it's going to print. It was just one of those arguments with myself. So anyway, I had the whole goddamn thing uploaded, the video, uploaded onto YouTube, ready to go. First time around, sound issue. The video would just fucking stop. Well, the video part kept going, it's just the sound would stop abruptly. Delete. So I go delete the goddamn thing, fix it, hour and a half later, I'm uploading it again. The hour and a half part is because it takes goddamn long to upload to YouTube. So there I go, hour and a half later, just about to push publish or whatever that thing is. And then I looked and I'm like, and it said something about you have a copyright claim. And my heart literally fell to the bottom of my stomach. And then it kind of bounced up and down because it's not as my younger days. I was all tone and shit. But anyway, never mind that. And I was like, copyright claim. And my heart about stopped beating. And no, I looked closer and it wasn't the same as a copyright strike, but I'm like, I'm not chancing it. Delete. So I did it again. And it was because I originally at the end of the video had Landon's video, Gannon's mom. She was listening to a song on the radio and talking about that God was giving her signs and it was all inspirational and shit. And, well, the song that was playing, apparently they're going to get their copyright payment or whatever. So delete. And then it was trying to tell me, well, you did have a thing about a copyright, but it wasn't a strike and it was copyright claim and it's still up there and the shit won't go away. And I don't like looking at that. So anyway, yeah, I deleted it, had to fix that shit, and I uploaded it again. Because if I don't, you said it wasn't going to be a week before your another upload, you was going to do it soon. Damn it, y'all, I tried for 3 days. And then I went to do my slam off to bed thing and get that all fixed, upload the video, and y'all seem to like it and shit. And then, so my husband was going to the store and he's standing at the door. Going to the store, you need anything? And I said, no, as I do most days. And then, wait a minute. And I started rattling off some stuff and he grumbled, can you just write that shit down? So I pulled a sticky note out and I started writing. And then I took the sticky note and I threw it away and I got out a big piece of notebook paper and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was just like, shh, because I was writing. What I ordered was the family size bag of Twizzlers, 2 Cadbury and fruit and nut bars. Oh god, those are good. 2 bags of butterscotch candy. I was going with one and I thought, no, let's just get 2 to honor my mom because that was one of her favorites. Well, that was my justification for it anyway. She died 5 years ago on April 20th. I always get a little bit weepy this time of year. More so than usual, that is. Well, anyway, I'll talk about that in another video. And a 2-liter bottle of Diet 7 Up to wash all that shit down. And I was like, oh, and a bag of mandarin oranges, because I wanted to be all healthy and shit. And then I was like, and some cough drops. I said, get me those Ludens. He goes, you know they're nothing but candy. And I said, I want the Ludens. My mouth is dry. That's what I want. And some toilet paper. He had to go. We actually ran out of toilet paper, even though we usually keep it stocked up. But he's been trying to buy some for like 2 weeks whenever he went to the store. Well, we're finally all, the 3 bathrooms, they're all on their last roll. And so he had to go to 4 different places. And then they were like, you can only get 2 packs. So he comes back with 2 small packs of toilet paper, and he was like, it was $25. For what? No wonder my dad used to make us use the Sears and Roebuck catalog when we would run out. But anyway, so that was that, and I forget what the hell else happened. And oh god, wait, I do remember the fucking fairy lights. But I'll save that for another day. I need to get on with this video, and now that I think of it, and oh, that's what set the whole damn thing in motion, because I had one of my meltdowns, like full-blown anxiety, panic attack, meltdown things where like I jumped out of bed and my feet, I don't even know if they touched the floor before I was out in the living room and shit. And so when I have one of those, it has a snowball effect, because then my medicine that I take for my jerking and shaking where I knock shit over all the time and break and spill stuff, and it will just completely stop working because I'm in overdrive. So, and I was trying to recount the story to my husband, and he just sits in silence while I go on and on and on. And I'm like, and I know I sound crazy sometimes, but I can't find the words. And he just kind of stopped and looked at me, and I was like, well, never mind. So, anyway, God, I've probably had like 200 people unsubscribe now for not talking about piece of shit. Let's get started, shall we? Hi, this is Kimberly. January 27th, 2020. 1:43 p.m. This is where we left off in the last video. Let me just touch on this part again so everything flows and shit. A significant event occurred on Gannon's phone at or around 1:43 p.m., which is prior to arriving back at the Stauch residence. There was an internet search on Gannon's phone that said, quote, can my parents find my cell phone, period, if it is off, end quote. Investigators feel this internet search was likely conducted by a piece of shit on Gannon's phone, likely deliberating on how or if she would dispose of Gannon's phone after she murdered him. Law enforcement conducted the Google search for, quote, can my parents find my cell phone, period, if it is off, end quote, the same way piece of shit did, and learned that the first answer returned in the search engine reads, the answer to your question depends on what method is being used to track your location. Gannon's phone was found at the residence. Law enforcement concludes Letecia Stauch did not get rid of Gannon's phone for fear it might be traceable. Cruelty was on Gannon's phone that day, answering the couple of texts from Albert masquerading as our little boy Blue to him. And then arrestee staged a couple of internet searches in an effort to cover her phony, lying, deceitful ass. I'm sure arrestee's phone will be examined in painful detail during the trial, which I am assuming there will be one since the word is she's still maintaining her innocence in jail, which she of course has every right to do. I do hope and pray that she's giving a fair and by-the-book trial. That's her right. I do think they will need to move the trial to a different county at least. Can it be possible to find enough people plus alternates in that county that haven't heard much about this crime? Even knowing everything I know, I assert that yes, I, if given the chance, could be fair and impartial. However, having a YouTube channel that has covered this would disqualify me immediately. Not to mention that I don't live in Colorado Springs, so I'm just voicing wishful thinking. I would love to serve on this jury. I've served on 2 juries in the past, and yes, I did it by the book. I'm a black and white kind of person. There are only 2 ways to do things, the right way and the wrong way. Oh dear me, I wonder how many more of you have checked out now while I was blithering and yammering on. Sorry, back to the timeline. 2:14 p.m. and we are getting to the sensitive and tragic part. All of this is sensitive and tragic. I think what I'm trying to say is we're getting to the part of after Gannon has passed away. Investigators believe Gannon was murdered by Letecia Stauch after this 2:14 p.m. timestamp at his residence, more specifically in his bedroom. There's no doubt in my mind that they have solid evidence to back up any statement made here in the arrest affidavit. Of course they do. Although this time confuses me, since they did not arrive home until 2:20 p.m., how did they conclude the 2:14 p.m. 6 minutes before arriving home? I understand what they are saying, that it was either that time or after that time, but again, why the 6-minute difference? This is one of those wait-and-see things. Perhaps it was the ADT records or something like that. Good God Almighty, T. Was it the ADT records or something? I was one of those kids with nonstop questions. I would have driven myself insane by me. I still do, though, but thing is, I would save up all my questions for my parents, since I was painfully shy and had anxiety even as a child, so I only spoke when forced to at school. But enough of me. 2:15 p.m. The affidavit said Cruelty Grouch killed Gannon earlier that day after around 2:15 p.m. Gannon's body was then likely taken to the garage and loaded into the back of Letecia Stauch Grouch's leased Volkswagen Tiguan. I hope I've said Tiguan correctly. Some people pronounce it as Tiguan, and some people pronounce it as Tiguan. I'm going to say Tiguan. I did find out that it's actually a cross between tiger and iguana. That's why I'm going to say Tiguan. And people actually voted on this name, so there you go. A little bit of useless information. And loaded into the back of Letecia Stauch Grouch's leased Volkswagen Tiguan, the affidavit said. This time is listed as 5 minutes before arriving home time. I'm sure there's a reason for this difference, but I want to know what in blazes has them pinning down stuff almost minute by minute. It does not seem logical or achievable to me. And I can't fucking think because pea-brain piece of shit is yakking and chattering in the corner of the basement talking about how Eduardo raped her at gunpoint for a solid hour and then he tried to do it again. The reason I hear this little voice over in the corner is because, well, what I'm trying to say is I am attempting to intermingle both the arrest affidavit and also the wild tales that arrestee has come up with. 2:20 p.m. The Nissan Frontier truck returns. A search warrant found no indications of blood inside this vehicle, and then what appears to be Letecia Stauch exiting the vehicle. Law enforcement can't be sure if another person exited the vehicle or not, but they say that Gannon likely did return home with arrestee that afternoon. These times are corroborated by data collected from ADT security installed at the Stauch residence and the Monday afternoon surveillance video from Mr. Drayton, the neighbor. Letecia Stauch returns to the home in a red truck at approximately 2:20, and according to that surveillance video, it is unclear whether Gannon is with her at this time, and the police, I think, are concluding that he did. 2:22 p.m. Gannon and Letecia Stauch enter the house. Lena is at school and Harley is at work. Based on data returned from the Stauch's ADT system, the motion detectors in the living room or basement, that is one and the same as for ADT purposes. Based on data returned from the Stauch's ADT system, motion detectors in the living room or basement did not register any activity from approximately 10:12 a.m. until Letecia Stauch and Gannon enter the house at 2:22 p.m. Investigators confirmed Lena to be at school and confirmed that Harley was at work. As such, investigators believe there was likely no one else in the residence except arrestee and Gannon. During this time, ADT motion sensors show movement between upstairs and downstairs. 2:30 p.m. In an interview with detectives in February, Letecia Stauch tells detectives she's being raped by a guardo at this time. Investigators also reviewed surveillance video from a neighbor and did not observe a man entering the house during the time Letecia Stauch claims she was attacked. Line 97 of the affidavit says, Letecia claimed that she was raped in the basement between 2:30 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. During that time, the back door of the residence, located on the main level, was open and closed 10 times. If indeed Letecia was being raped in the basement, it would be impossible for her to open the upstairs back door of the residence at the same time. I submit that Letecia's claims of being raped in the basement are false, based on her cell phone activity and the stored ADT data. 2:30 p.m. 2:45 p.m. Letecia Stauch unlocks her phone. The timing of the unlocking of the device is significant as compared to her departure and arrival to and from the residence, and should be noted by the court. Particularly, Letecia Stauch did not open her phone for approximately 30 minutes after she arrived back at the residence. Letecia had been without her cell phone for hours, yet her screen was not unlocked until approximately 2:45 p.m., which was 25 minutes after arriving back at the residence. During that 25-minute period, and forgive me, but this arrest affidavit was all over the damn place. There are things that I'll repeat and things I'll leave out. I am what I am. And here I am with my undiagnosed ADD trying to put stuff in chronological order. You know what? Fuck that. I've been trying really hard. It's just me. I don't have a team. Let's say we are touching upon what happened on January 27th. Yeah, I like that better. It takes some pressure off of me. Don't you hate when you have this great idea and you get all excited and shit, and then when you get started, you have a Pinterest fail type of situation on your hands? These great ideas are generally like, I'm gonna bake bread, plant a garden, and learn to knit, paint the living room, all kinds of shit. List your own in the comments. And honestly, it's Letecia Stauch's fault with her fucking Liarrhea. And, well, back to touching upon what happened on January 27th. I am doing my best. From 3 to 5 p.m. between the dates of January 23rd and January 26th, this is where I thought I really fucked up the timeline because of these dates, but no, I didn't. This shit is my reference shit, not timetable shit. So, well, if you're inside my mind, then it makes sense. Between the hours of 3 to 5 p.m., the average number of basement motion events was 3.5. On January 27th, the average number of basement motion events was 10.3. A possible scenario for the increase in activity is that Letecia Stauch was going up and down the stairs, getting cleaning supplies and cleaning the murder scene. Goodness, but there is a lot going on. 3:11 p.m. And in the middle of all of that going on, here comes Lena arriving home from school. Thank goodness, a guardo. If her story is true, of course, let her dress quickly and run upstairs to greet Lena like it's just a normal casual day at the Stauch residence. Investigators did observe on the neighbor's security camera Lena arriving home on the school bus at or about 3:11 p.m. She's observed entering the residence and observed, and 19 minutes later riding her bike at or about 3:30 p.m. I wonder if she was able to pee and grab a snack before being pushed out the door. That was hitting her on the ass, all alone by herself, isolated. She's 8 years old. I have 2 granddaughters that are 8. I don't send them out to play without keeping an eye on them, but anyway, 3:15 p.m. During a recorded forensic interview with investigators, Lena stated that when she returned home, Letecia Stauch told her that Gannon was asleep in her bed. And did this mean to say his bed? If not, was Gannon said to be asleep in T's bed? The arrest affidavit just says her bed. So Letecia Stauch told her Gannon was asleep in her bed. So, if it was a typo, it could have been his bed. If not a typo, was Gannon said to be asleep in T's bed or Lena's bed? I just found this statement to be not clear, but Letecia Shit told her Gannon was asleep in her bed and that she could not see him. Letecia Shit shooed her away and told Lena to go outside and play. Investigators feel that Lena was sent outside because Gannon was likely dead at this time and Letecia Shit was cleaning up blood from inside the house. God, that's hard to say. I don't think this, I'm back and forth on the if it was premeditated or not. When it comes to this with blood inside the house, and why would she give herself such a short window, knowing Lena was going to be home approximately 45 minutes later? And then have a blood scene to clean up. I don't know. I'm not a criminal and I'm not a murderer, so I don't know how to think like one. 3:15 p.m. Piece of Shit initially claimed she last saw Gannon when he left their residence to play with a neighborhood friend between approximately 3:15 and 4 p.m. and was expected to be home at 6 p.m. Somewhere around 3:15 p.m. on January 27th, 2020, based on the facts outlined in this arrest affidavit and Pisa's statement to an El Paso Sheriff's Office dispatcher, the stepmurder is the last person that ever saw Gannon alive. She stated that she attempted to find him at a neighbor's house and sent her daughter, Harley Hunt, to look for Gannon at a park. And I'm not making light of this situation, but according to arrestee, she is still being held at gunpoint during this time. And another time she was being raped from 2:30 and 3:30, and Gannon came to let her know that he was going to his friend's house. I'm surprised she let him go, if this were true, having missed school that day. But of course, this is our taken flea, guilty, arrestee, cruelty at her word. But now I recall that Edgardo dude let her go to Great Lena off of the school bus in one of the versions. So that must be when Gannon asked for permission to go to a friend's house. See how all over the place this shit is? Letecia Shit initially claimed she last saw Gannon when she said Gannon was playing. So Letecia Shit initially claimed that she last saw Gannon at 3:15 when he came to ask for permission to go to a friend's house. Within a few days, arrestee changed her story to label herself as a victim of rape, felony menacing with a weapon, and assault, resulting in Gannon's abduction by her rapist. So this was the other version. One version, she let him go to a friend's house, and then another version said that Edgardo, her rapist, abducted Gannon. And I'm sure there's more and more to come from Liarrhea. I think she does this purposely to mislead and confuse the story. I mean, of course she does. 3:28 p.m. The front door of the residence opened and closed. 3:30 p.m. Video footage from a neighborhood security camera that captured the exterior of the Stauch residence from the day of Gannon's murder did not observe a Hispanic male entering the house. They did see Lena arrive home on the school bus and observed her entering the residence and riding her bike at about 3:30 p.m. 3:30 to 3:42 p.m. Surveillance video shows Lena outside riding her bike. From training and experience, law enforcement knows that individuals concoct lies, most reasonably to conceal the truth, of course. They often leave portions of truth within those lies. They feel the statements Piece of Shit made in reference to Lena and the time period Lena was at the residence are likely true based on video evidence. Her other statements, however, are blatant lies designed to mislead investigators, it states in the arrest affidavit. 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Edgardo vaginally penetrated cruelty against her will between 3:30 and 4:30 p.m. The time of the attack changes a bit throughout the days following, as needed to fit her account. During this period, she supposes that she had hit her head and may have blacked out. Investigators noted no injuries on Piece of Shit's head during this time. piece of shit tried to fight Edgardo off, but was unsuccessful, probably because she kept passing the fuck out. Investigators say if an individual holds another person at gunpoint, they do not allow the person to have an opportunity for escape, as the arrestee described being allowed to greet her stepdaughter upstairs before returning to the basement of horrors. Most crucially, if arrestee's story is accurate, a reasonable person would have immediately called 911 and would have reported what the fuck was going on: the home invasion, rape, and kidnapping of their child. Arrestee called law enforcement hours later and did not report the alleged rape until approximately 2 days later. Arrestee said she cleaned up the area where this alleged attack happened. She straightened up signs of disturbances in Gannon's room and cleaned up the utility room. Cleaning supplies, carpet brushes, which contained suspected carpet fibers, were recovered out of the dishwasher. It is surmised that arrestee did in fact clean something up, but it was the murder of Gannon and not a sexual assault. And I'm going to end the video here. I'm really sorry, guys, but I'm getting a bit of a cold, and don't y'all freak the fuck out. I don't have coronavirus, okay? But I do have a cold or a little something going on, and yes, I do know to go to the emergency room if I have trouble breathing, and I apologize. I wanted to finish the day of January 27th with this video, but it's just not going to happen right now. I'm going to end it here and hopefully get the rest of January 27th timeline uploaded within the next day or two. Take care of yourself. Much love and peace. Thank you for listening.
We have brand new information on the murder investigation of Gannon Stauch. We obtained this document. It's Letecia Stauch's arrest affidavit, and in it, investigators basically lay out all of the evidence that they have collected that have led them to believe that Letecia Stauch murdered her stepson, Gannon. We're going to have a summary of all of those findings on both Fox 31 and Channel 2, as well as on our website.